Hey everybody, Coach Allison, and I have week 19, Defy Aging, to go through with you. This week we are doing a ladder. Those of you who have been with us for a while know what our ladder routine is like. It is a set amount of reps that increases and then it decreases. So we have 7 exercises this week. You're going to go through all 7 exercises for 3 reps each. So it's going to go really quick. It's at your own pace. So everyone will be working in their own space with their own equipment, going at their own pace for this routine this week. So you start with 3. Then you go through the circuit again and you do 6. Then the next round is 9. We cap it out at 12. And then we go back down because when you go up a ladder, you have to go back down, right? So then we go 9, 6, 3. So it'll be it sounds a little confusing maybe, but it'll be written on the board at the gyms and your coach will review it with you. But again, 3, 6, 9, 12, 9, 6, 3. Let's go over each exercise. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a 25-minute max for this routine. All right, exercise 1 is a curl press. We're working biceps and shoulders. Weight in each hand. We do a bicep curl first, and then we do an overhead shoulder press. And then you release it down. So don't overthink. I have noticed over the years, the more you overthink the movement, the harder it actually gets. So just kind of let your arms go naturally. I like to begin with the arms, the palms in at the bottom, rotate them into the curl, and then slowly palms forward as you press. You want your press to be at the top of the press. Your fingernails should be facing forward. And then you kind of release it the same way you brought it up. Curl, press, and down. All right, that is our curl press. Next exercise is jump squats. This one's going to be a lot of legs and a lot of cardio as well. So we start with a basic squat. Feet are hip width apart. Sink those hips down and back, sitting into an imaginary chair behind you. Make sure you are sinking your hips back, not simply bending the knees. Because see how if I just bend my knees go forward. That puts a lot of pressure on the knee. We want to avoid that. So typically you want to keep your knees kind of behind your toes, or at least not protruding too far forward. So anyways, that's step 1. If that's where you're comfortable, you can keep it at a squat. You can step it up to a fast squat. So we're not jumping yet, but we are adding speed. If you do the fast squat though, keep the depth of the squat. Don't turn it into just a little bounce. So do try to still get a nice deep squat. If you'd like to try the full jump squat, it's just what it sounds like. You go down, you jump those feet off the floor at the top of the squat. It doesn't have to be a big jump. You might have noticed my feet only come off the floor a little bit, but you want to land softly. By that, I mean you want to land going right down into the next squat. You don't want to stop first. So what I mean by that is you don't want to have a pause like this. Okay? That jars the ankles, the knees, even into the back if you have that jarring stop. So keep it smooth. And it actually is pretty minimal impact if you do it properly, and that's our jump squat. All right, next we have a low plank toe tap. Low plank means you're on your elbows as opposed to your hands. So it doesn't have anything to do with how close you are to the floor. So yeah, low plank is just another name for an elbow or a traditional plank. So you're on your elbows and your legs are extended. Hips are level. We want to avoid steeple hips like this, okay? So hips level, keep your head looking down. Try not to look straight ahead. And we tap the toes out to the side, alternating right, left. All right. Now, unfortunately, there isn't a knee option for this type of a plank. Typically, when we do a plank, you can go down to the knees if needed. With this type of plank, there isn't a knee option. It just does not work to tap those knees out. I've tried it. It doesn't work. So if a full toe plank is not something where you're at just yet, or if you're unable to get to the floor, your coaches will have these red boxes or benches around. We're going to come onto a box and do it up on into an incline. Again, keep the hips level though. See how I'm got a pretty straight line from my back of my head to my heels? We don't want to do this. Okay. That count for this type of exercise, routine, is counting each side individually. So for example, the 3 rep set will be 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And that's how we're going to count these. Low plank toe taps. Next one is, I think, actually new. I don't think I've ever put this into the Defy before. It's a reverse lunge pull down. Now, we've done squat pull downs with the band quite a bit. This is a reverse lunge pull down. We've done reverse lunges quite a bit, and we've done pull downs quite a bit. Let's put them together. Excuse me. So we have our band. I like to put my arms through the handles just so they're not like flopping around and, dangling and hitting you in the face. That's just my preference. So grip, I don't know, shoulder width apart perhaps on the band, depending on the difficulty, the resistance level of the band you have. Arms up, just putting a little pressure on the band. We're not yanking it really hard, but we're not leaving it loose. So little tiny pressure. We want the arms straight overhead if you can. Want to avoid the arms being out here in front. All right, that's a lot of setup, isn't it? Now we go into a reverse lunge, stepping one leg back, bend both knees down, up, feet together, then do a pull down. Now a pull down is working your upper back and into your lats. It's hard to point to your own back, so in order to do that, we pull down and apart. So pull apart as you pull down, like you're trying to break the band. Bring it to your upper chest. Don't come way down here. And you put a slight arch in your back as you bring those elbows back behind you. So we're not overarching the back like this, but I'll do a few of the pull downs so you can kind of see upper chest, kind of puff out the chest. I call it a proud chest. So I'll put a few together, and you alternate legs. So right leg back, feet together, pull. That's one rep. Other leg, left leg back, feet together, pull. I'll do a couple from the side so you can see the side view. Okay, that's pretty involved. Shoulders, back, lower body. That one we're going to count total count. So for example, round one with the 3 reps, it'll be 1, 2, 3, instead of 3 on each side. Just because when we get to the 9 and the 12 rep sets, that will be a lot of reps if we count each side individually. So that's how we're going to count for the lunges. If lunges are a little knee intensive, if you already have like a pre-existing knee thingy, so if they are bothering your knees, switch this to a squat pull down. Squats are a little more knee friendly. So setup is kind of the same. We just do a squat and a pull down instead of a lunge. An overhead squat with a squat with the arms up is really challenging. So if you're doing the squat version, try really hard to keep your arms up and not let them come down here in front. It is challenging. Okay, that's a new one. So I hope you enjoy the lunge, reverse lunge pull downs. Okay, next exercise is push-ups. I have an ongoing chronic 4-year-long shoulder issue that I just cannot do push-ups. Even modified push-ups are irritating my shoulders. I'm not going to demo you push-ups. I know everyone knows what a push-up is, but there are lots of cueing, mechanical cues to know about push-ups. So your coach will review the push-ups with you and the options as well. When you get to the higher reps, the 9, the 12 reps, you might need to take breaks in the middle, and that's fine. Do 3 or 4, kind of stop and shake it out. Do 3 or 4 more. That is totally fine. And it's also okay to change the type of push-up you're doing. For example, maybe you can do toe push-ups for a few reps. That's great. So if you can do the 3 rep set on your toes, awesome. But maybe you can't do the toes when we get up to 9 and 12. So it's okay to drop then down to the knees or go to an incline option. You can mix and match the different levels to your abilities. But yes, push-ups is that exercise, or what exercise is that? Where are we? All right, push-ups is number 5, so we have 2 more. Okay, band side steps. We do these kind of often. Great for the hips, glutes, balance. So we have our resistance band. You probably can use the same one that you use for your pull down. And we're gonna place it under the feet. Do try to get it into the arch of the shoe, however. Make sure it's not up by the toes, because if it's up at the toes like this, it can slip off like that. So under the arch, in the arch of your shoe, because that kind of locks it in place. Once you have that set, start with your feet close together. Put a little tension on the band. You don't have to hold it all the way up here, but just a little, so it's not like loosey-goosey, okay? And we take as big of a step as you can, controlled right and left. Do keep a slight bend in your knees at all times with this. That's going to help your balance and stability. Look at my knees, how they're pretty bent, right? It's not a squat. We're not down here. But if you lock your legs in straight like this, first of all, it's bad for your knees. Second of all, it's harder for your balance and your agility. So cushion your knees, soft knees. And you have to really keep your ankles sturdy and strong, because you want to step out with your foot facing forward. We want to avoid, I don't know if you can see my feet, want to avoid like the feet kind of turning out like this, because look what happens if you turn it. It slips, ouch, that hurt. It slips off the back of your foot. If it's turned inward like this, it can slip off the front of your foot. And we also just always want proper alignment. So keep your feet facing forward. Use the mirrors for this. It does take a little ankle stability and strength to do that. Yeah, so this one we're also going to count each side separately. So kind of like the plank toe taps, it'll be 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and so on. Last exercise for our ladder routine is a forward backward farmer's carry. Now this is going to be a little different. Your coach, or sorry, your coach can either have a designated spot for this. So when you're ready for this exercise, you can go to that spot, or you can stay in your own little space and make your own little route. But for this, we're just going to do one lap each time, one forward, one back, and I'll show you what I mean by that. As opposed to, like the other exercises are a certain amount of reps. So you'll kind of conclude each set with one little forward, backward farmer's carry. So weight in each hand, you can use dumbbells or kettlebells, whatever you prefer. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Holding your weights. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Now this is me holding something kind of casually, not really caring about what I'm doing or my posture. Okay, so I'm gonna fix that. Shoulders up, back, down. So that automatically kind of pops out your chest, puts the shoulders and the shoulder blades in the right position. Tuck, your lat muscles are back here. Well, that way, can't lift my weight that far. Your lat muscles are kind of back here. Tuck your lat down and back so the lat isn't kind of stretched forward like this. And again, with that proud chest. So this is the proper carry form for a farmer's carry. So once you have that set, whatever route you're going to use for your farmer's carry, we just do a controlled walk forward, trying not to wiggle or move the arms at all. Now here's the fun part. We're going to do backwards. All right. So the backwards, it's okay if you kind of look a little bit over your shoulder, use your peripheral vision looking over your shoulder. Or if you're doing it near a mirror, you can just use the mirror to see behind you, because I know it's a little scary walking backwards without any clue what's behind you. If the backwards is something you're not comfortable with, maybe a little too scary, or your balance isn't feeling great with it, feel free to do your forward, then turn around and go forward on the way back. So you'll be doing two, forward one way, forward the other way. So that's your option instead of the backwards. The backwards is definitely higher challenge level. So work to that level when you feel ready. And that's our forward, backwards, farmer's carry. And actually that concludes our workout. So again, the reps are designated already. They'll be on the Defy board at the gyms. We have a 25-minute max for this. So if you get done early, what we're gonna have you do is hop on a cardio machine, a piece of cardio equipment of your choice, and do some nice steady state cardio until either the whole group is done or until the 25 minutes is up, whichever comes first. Hope you enjoy this ladder routine, and we'll see you back for week 20.